People with street smarts. What is your most street tip? Always look like you know where you're going, even when you don't. Only break one law at a time. There is no shame in running away from a fight. If you see something potentially illegal going on, don't look directly at them. Especially if you know that you're not going to be reporting it to the police. Always get the money up front. People who want to pay later probably won't, and then things can get messy. Walk on the road if you're in a real shady neighborhood and it's late at night. Not in traffic, but away from alleyway entrances. Security guards, doormen, food cart operators, and blue-collar workers in general are well versed about the location of the nearest restrooms. Look with your eyes, not your head. If someone approaching you says, "Hey man, I ain't gonna rob you," they're probably gonna try to rob you. If an attractive woman asks for directions, look for her partner behind you, or going into your car, to take what they can grab. Typical vacation area scam. You can get into a lot of places by holding a pizza. When you stop your car, always make sure you have enough room in front of you for an escape route. It's impossible sometimes, but do the best you can. If someone starts to loudly state that they've lost their wallet or phone, don't obviously or immediately go to check on yours in your bag or pocket. It's a common pickpocket technique to get people to show the pickpockets where their stuff is. Never count your cash in public, even if in singles. Lock your doors as soon as you're in a car. If you're in the hood and you see kids playing outside, you're probably safe. If there are a lot of people outside but no kids, be super cautious and walk with a purpose. If it's empty or only teenagers/young adults, get out ASAP. Know where the exits are at all times. Always put something between yourself and the ground, even if it's just a piece of cardboard. Especially on asphalt, it absorbs heat, and it will feel like it's sucking the life out of you. You didn't see asterisk asterisk asterisk. Blend in. Everywhere. Even if you're faking it. And, if you're faking it, get out as soon as you inconspicuously can. Confirm the license plate, and make sure you are getting in your proper Uber/Lyft. If you're uncomfortable with your surroundings, leave. Your unconscious is often more aware of your surroundings than you'd think. If something you can't figure out is telling you to go, listen to it. Edit. Some people need grammar lessons. Trust your gut. If anyone seems a little too friendly, get away as soon as possible. Listen always and speak only when you need to. People don't know when to shut up. Always check the toilet paper roll before taking a dump. If you are on public transportation and people are exhibiting antisocial behavior, smoking, playing music on their speakers, etc., don't say anything. These people know what they are doing and are most likely looking for a fight. They also likely have very little to lose. Ignore it, and if it bothers you enough, get off or move at the next stop. Well, if you're traveling, never randomly stop on the sidewalk to consult a map or appear visibly lost. Duck into a coffee shop or something to orient yourself. If you're in a bad neighborhood, for the love of God, stay in well-lit areas. The shortcut through the alley will cost you more than the time it saves. Never show your watch, wallet, or phone in areas known for pickpockets. Also, don't touch your pockets if you see warning signs, because a good thief will be watching to see which pocket your valuables are in. And when approached by someone on the street, be mindful of who else is watching and what is behind you. Try and keep everything in front of you, and don't be afraid to shout and swear at them to get attention. If someone puts a gun or knife in your face, don't be a hero. If you feel like it's a setup, it probably is. If someone is trying to rush you, don't do it. Always have an escape plan. Never have a partner in crime, they will snitch. Beware of people who have nothing to lose and people who have everything to lose. If you are involved in confrontation, pay attention to the hands. Two things. If they reach into their pocket and or under their shirt, you are likely going to be hit with something. Stabbed or shot. If they are tucking their hands by their hamstring and or clenching their fist while looking you up and down, you're about to get punched. Run or take the fight to them, because if either one of these things are happening, you're already the underdog. If something feels wrong/scary and makes you uncomfortable, go ASAP. Sure, maybe something might not happen, But like Mr. Miyagi said, best way to avoid trouble is no be there. Exercise your legs. Although in a bad situation they'll probably feel like wet noodles, if needed you'll be able to run. It will also show in everyday life that you are capable of moving effortless. Most people are sluggish, and it's not hard to notice. A red traffic light is just a traffic suggestion to some people. Always keep an eye out at intersections for idiots running a red light. If someone is blatantly violating social norms, such as blasting music on the subway or taking a phone call in a movie theater, keep in mind that if they are willing to violate one social norm they are probably willing to violate others, including prohibitions on violence. You don't have to be meek in the face of obnoxious people, but you do have to factor in the increased likelihood of violence. Don't raise your voice with strangers and always be the last to speak. You don't know if these guys are wired properly or not. In crowded areas, carry bags, purses, and packages in front of you rather than behind you. Fighting is not like the movies. Many people won't fight fair even. You never know what a person's got in their pockets, like a knife or any deadly weapon for that matter. Also seen people go back to their car and get a piece. Also on the other side of the coin, you shouldn't pull out a weapon unless you absolutely know you gonna do some damage, cause that same weapon can be pulled on you quick. Doors and corners. Always remember the doors and corners. I travel quite a lot, so some things I have realized. If you find a gas station and all windows are covered by ads, so much they can't see outside, well, that is because they don't want to be a witness. If you stop seeing sidewalks, a lack of street light walking signs, or no more stoplights, that is not where you need to be. Always keep a change of clothes and water in your car. Never know when you need it. Bitumen is predominantly the surface layer, but most sealed roads will have a minimum of 2 other layers which stabilize the roadway. The other 2 layers are primarily made of mix of bitumen, crushed rock, compacted sand, chalk and larger rocks. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. There's nothing free in this life, nothing you want. If something feels wrong, it's probably about to be really wrong. Listen to your gut. Never yell back at a group of guys verbally harassing you. Just keep walking. Don't make a face. Don't change your walking pace. Keep going as they are not there. Look both ways before you cross, bro. Don't wake a sleeping dog. It might be a raccoon. Another tip, get to know your local homeless people. If you live in a city and regularly walk past the same homeless people, stop and say hi once in a while. Just have a brief chat and give them some change. Even a smile helps. Believe me, these guys know everything about what happens on that block. If you're ever in trouble, they'll help you out if you've been friendly, or they may just pretend they didn't see a thing. They can also help watch your car. For instance, if someone dings it and drives off, they might even get the plate for you. View the street as their home. Walking on the street, you're walking through their living room. They can be excellent hosts. This doesn't apply if you're traveling in a new city. Not worth befriending a homeless guy if you're only there like 2 days. When someone is staring at you looking for a fight, glance and keep them in your peripheral vision. But otherwise don't maintain a direct eye contact except for a brief moment. This exudes confidence, yet acknowledge their threat. Do not keep staring long at them, challenge look, or actually avert eye contact, signing you as vulnerable prey. Stand tall and if carrying one bag, or even bags, put that bag in your weak and non-dominant hand so, when you're under sudden attack, you could act faster. Do not burden your dominant hand in groceries / purse / whatever in a high-risk area. It's better to carry 2 bags in your non-dominant hand than having each hand carrying a bag. Silence is scarier than **** talk. Listen more, talk less, learn everything. If a motorcycle with 2 people on it slows down near you, run ESP in South and Central America. I live in a third world country and most of the time this is what we are taught. When going to a shady neighborhood, dress down as much as possible. Don't bring a bag, or if you do, make sure the bag is something you can easily put in front of you. Do not put your money in just one item like your wallet. Hide bills, fold or flatten them, in your phone case, or socks. hidden pants pocket etc. This will serve as your emergency money in case you lose your wallet. Wear dark sunglasses when taking a public transpo, so you'll be harder to read. If you are a tourist, ask the locals around for the exact price, for fare, for food, for item. Some street sellers tend to scam tourists and make them pay a ridiculous amount. I saw this happen, but the tourist didn't buy the item cause his friend, a local, stopped him. Edit. Some taxi drivers will deliberately take a longer route so they can get more from you. Download apps that would serve as your GPS. Some taxi drivers have drugs they use to get you to inhale and knock you out. They do this by shaking some powder near the air conditioning of the car, so you directly inhale it. It's a subtle scent, but it makes your throat dry. If you smell it / suddenly feel drowsy, ask to be dropped off immediately or open the window. They would usually pretend to open candy or SMTH, and the powder is usually in the candy wrapper. Edit. It's not a powder. It's a spray scam. They just shake or rub the candy wrapper to mask the sound when they spray it. Bring your own water bottle when going to a club. To be safer, order shots. Shot glasses won't give them enough time to spike your drink or beer so you can carry the bottle. Constantly drink water so you can flush out the alcohol in your system, giving you a good buzz but not shit-faced drunk. Edit. OMG, I didn't know about the whole water and not flushing out of your system, lol, forgive me for that. I've been corrector in the comments. Guess it just keeps you from getting dehydrated and gives you clean and safe drinking water. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Edit. I think by now you guys know what country I'm talking about. These are just a few of the usual things you need to be careful with. I'm not, at all, trying to malign my country. Trust me, there are a lot of good things here too. Come visit. Don't act like a victim. Walk tall and keep your head up. If you see the same card twice, get into a shop or store. If someone asks you for the time, keep your hand on your wallet and only slightly pull your pocket out to check the time. If you are in a shady neighborhood, remove anything that could be seen as a symbol for a rival gang. Hats, jackets, stuff like that. It's lucky but not worth the risk. Never go to a second location. Street smarts. If there's nobody where you are, there's probably a reason, and you need to leave ASAP. Don't break the law while you're breaking the law. Also, avoid the loudest person in the room. If a stranger offers you drugs, say thank you, because drugs are expensive these days. If you notice somebody following your car whilst you're driving, try and drive in a circle by taking consecutive right or left turns and see if they are still following you. Mind your own business. If you see someone doing something they shouldn't be doing that isn't hurting someone, drinking on the train, stealing, illegally selling stuff, keep it moving. Don't stare either. Trying to get a stranger to abide by your version of right and wrong can end in you getting jumped very easily. So yay, if it isn't hurting anyone, it's not your business. Don't put a target on your back over some moral high ground. Walk with confidence. Situational awareness. Shocking to me how little people have. Don't give people any attention. Literally zero. The crazy on the street. Once you acknowledge his existence, he's got you. I find headphones important on public transportation. One example. I get on the Red Line in Chicago and sit down. I stared out the window. Dude got on the train and sat behind me, was crazy, and started asterisk with other people. I didn't notice right away, but I was closest to him, and since I completely ignored him, he ignored me. People look for reactions out of you. Best thing you can do is not react if possible. If someone tries to rob you, just give them everything. Wear shorts under pants, keep your valuables in shorts. Edit. I always wear sweats. I put my hand in my pants to get to my shorts. I think this is the equivalent to women taking money out of their boob. The most practical self-defense item you can own is a very high-powered flashlight, especially one with a strobe function. Drawing a weapon will always escalate a situation and may cause any aggressor to fight with lethal force. You also cannot use a weapon preemptively, except in very clear self-defense scenarios. You can't shoot someone just because they look shifty. You also cannot legally carry them in many places. None of this applies to a flashlight. You can legally and inconspicuously carry it anywhere. You can use it without provocation, without legal or moral issue. It is also highly effective. It is incredibly difficult to hit or stab someone who is shining a 1000 lumen strobe light in your face. It can be almost impossible to properly see where that person is, and it will be painful to even look at them. As a bonus, flashlights are just super handy tools to have in day-to-day life. If you think violent situation is about to happen, clench your teeth, put your tongue against the roof of your mouth, and drop your chin closer to your chest. Never ever put keys in between your fingers, and take your hands out of your pockets and stand staggered, not with feet together. This one isn't so much protection, but when you're walking, and you know how people do that little shuffle thing when they walk towards each other, because you don't know which way the people are going. Well, if you maintain a line of sight in a direction, not looking, not the eyes of people coming towards you, people will just move out of your way. No awkward little dance. Solo newsman who worked in the dark in big cities past midnight. I've been shot at by gangs before. Been followed and chased. I lived the life of nightcrawler for 2 years, but I wasn't a gypsy camera. I worked for a reputable news station. 1. Even in daylight, watch for places where the street lights have been broken. Bad people who like to hide in the dark shoot out street lights. If it's night and you see a television running in an open window, it's a kid that might be a lookout. You'll have the feeling you've been made. 2. When drive to a place in the dark that you've never been to, drive in with the windows down and the radio off. Turn off the car. Count to 30 and listen. On a good night, without air conditioners buzzing, you can hear everything. Then, get out of the car. 3. Drive in front of a place once before landing there. Guys on it. 4. If you're on foot, know the outs. Watch behind houses for fences. Assume anyone that chases you knows the area better than you. If you feel like you're being watched, you are. Stop moving, stop breathing, and listen again. Nobody wants to attack an aware victim. If you hold your breath on foot, in about 45 seconds, you can hear everything. Your ears adjust. Cannot do it while walking, and blood is pumping in your ears. You can hear people breathing well over 10 feet away, if you wait long enough. 5. Assume all gut feelings are real and actionable. Trust yourself. 6. I cannot stress enough listening. Most humans have no idea that we have, as a species, the ability to hear things further away than we think we do. We have busy minds. Listening takes about a minute. Your brain can totally make a determination that there is a deer 100 yards away in the dark, because in about 30 seconds of dead silence the brain starts shutting down new cells background noises. The only lesson of this is, it takes a little longer than you think. Second tier pro tip, it also works on your nose in the woods, but it takes a few days out of an urban environment. Edit, people are liking this. So adding more. But a few minutes. 7. Cars, all headlights on vehicles are fingerprints. Every time you look in a rearview mirror, imprint the headlights in your short-term memory. Try to think of what kind of car it is. Learn what headlights and taillights go with what type of car. Make it a game. Keep it as a background thought. It will trigger you when the third turn happens, and the headlights are the same. 8. Cars again, if you see the car too long, and it's bothering you, do something. Spin that block. Drive illogically. If you spin that block, it have to follow you in an illogical path. It takes a minute to do this, and determine a tail. Don't ever stop, just drive a longer and more illogical route to determine if you're being followed. If you're being followed, don't go home. Drive to a hospital or entrance. There's always security there. They're used to crazy and immediate medical attention if something is bad. And cameras. Lots of them. And all cops can get there without looking it up. 9. Don't like guns? Get a big ass knife. They never jam. They never need maintenance. Nearly impossible to disarm. Cut is an instant win. The crazier you get, the better they work. They scare the asterisk out of people. A person shorter than 10 feet away can get a kill faster than a pistol. They teach cops to shoot knife attackers at 10 feet, still probably screwed. Got a Captain America shield? Wearing knight's armor? Can't stop it. Turns a 70-pound girl into a 70-pound Wolverine. A 90-year-old lady with a knife has about equal chance against a Krav Maga fighter unarmed. Knives are, in my experience, much deadlier than guns. I've seen hundreds of gunshot wounds and deaths. I've seen brutal knife attacks. All heavy stabs are 100% fatal. I've never seen a multiple stab person make it out of an ambulance. 20 years experience. 9. And finally, final reiteration that your smooth little reptilian hindbrain has evolved running from creatures on this planet with big ass fangs and camouflage, and venom, and claws. Lots of claws. You, as a person, are a little animal, and what your personality and identity is an evolutionary add-on, that is pretty damn amazing. The cauliflower part of your brain is in charge. You have old brain down there underneath it. When the little smooth part of your brain says up, run. Do it, now. You're here because the hindbrain did its damn job for millions of years. It's not capable of expressing itself in letters or numbers. It's stupid. It's the heebie-jeebies part of your brain. It's very old. It misfires a lot. It will also give you fair warning. Stay safe, people. If you're talking to a stranger and they start looking around as if checking for witnesses, you gotta leave quickly. When a hustler asks, I bet I know where you got those shoes, the answer is always on your feet. I'm just here making a list. When going through a dumpster looking for cool items, use one of these. Grab a things to poke around. That way, you don't have to crawl in or touch yucky stuff directly. Always walk with traffic coming towards you. If you see a gang of youths, don't look vulnerable. Hit first and hard. Running is the best form of self-defense. Tip: be a fast runner. If you must fight, be fit enough to give at least 15 seconds of hell. Always know that most people are out for themselves only. If you get mugged, remember what the thief is wearing, watch his jewelry, and tell the police it was yours, so if they catch them, you're a winner. Stand up for yourself, even if you're shaking at the core.